Good day, YouTube. Niagara Gunfighter here. Today we're going to have a short video on how to build an extended spill plate for the Lee Pro 1000, which I'm using exclusively now as a decapping tool. Loaded about 15,000 rounds for this Pro 1000 in various calibers handgun before I moved on to the Lee Loadmaster, and that's what we're going to be building the extended shell plate slide today. So as you can see on the original carrier, not much of a shell plate slide here. I've polished it, bent it down a little, and then stepped up to a homemade spill plate, which redirects the shells quite well into the bin. Started off with a prototype. I made this out of flashing, which is available at Home Depot or Lowe's or anywhere where they sell siding and roofing materials. Pretty inexpensive. It's cheap and easy, as you can see, to bend. Tools are pliers, hammer, tin shears will cut it very easily, and I use a vise to make tight bends. But that was the prototype. What we're actually going to make the real slide out of, pretty heavy duty. I make it out of this metal that is used for ductwork. It also cuts pretty easy with tin shears, but once you fold a crease in it, it's pretty heavy duty and pretty sturdy, and more than strong enough to stand up to what we need to do on a handgun loader. So as you can see on the Loadmaster, not much of a spill plate here. It's pretty effective. When I load 45 on this machine, it for the most part they slide off right in there. But what I want to do today is just put a little bit of an extended spill plate on there and see if we can't get it down to so they all go directly into the bin, because that one on the Pro 1000 has been highly effective. So as you can see on the Loadmaster, my intention here is to use the rod for the case feeder, and we're just going to bend the prototype around the outside of this, and I don't think I'm even actually gonna make contact with the original slide that's on there. I think I'm just going to make an extended chute, and my intention is to hook it onto this rod right here. So I'm going to take this flashing compound that was the prototype on the Pro 1000, and then I'm going to repurpose it into the prototype for the Lee Loadmaster. Like I said, this stuff cuts pretty easy. It's pretty malleable, and it's fairly tough after you bend the edges around. But you do want to be careful. These can be pretty sharp. Cut yourself if you don't know what you're doing, which I don't always do. Now on the trial fit here, as you can see, I didn't make my spill plate wide enough, but that's the advantage of doing a prototype with something malleable like flashing compound. So what we're going to have to do here is change this part right here. Okay. So, the beauty of a prototype is you can do whatever you want to it. I'm trying a new hole right here, which I don't like the idea of the hole being on that side of the spill plate, but we'll see what happens here. So for the final, what I'm envisioning is combining these two lines here so the wall goes like that, and then this hole ends up on this side like I had originally intended. So right now, let's make this cut. See if we can get the fit in there a little better. Looks good. Okay, so after a little more bending, prototype is starting to look a little bit more straight. But we're going to need to mark it along here. I'm going to mark it right along here, so we can make this edge fit. Alright, while that looks uniform with the original, the problem I'm envisioning is 45 rounds aren't going to fit through this opening. So I think what we're going to do is redirect it to go this way. Alright, any junkyard dog worth his weight in salt knows what a Sharpie is. That's about where we got it there. So now we'll make a bend in the final where this line is to the right. Drill the hole in the same spot, and then this angle over here will be like that. I'm going to trim that down so it's not so tall, and then we got plenty of room for our 45 case to fit through this opening here. So height wise, I'm looking at about this. We're going to give ourselves a little extra room here. Nothing like measuring twice and cutting once, huh? And like I said, this air duct metal is a lot thicker and much more heavy duty, but it also still cuts with tin shears fairly easily, because I've had these tin shears since the 80s, so probably getting beyond their recommended service life. Now we need to fold these outer edges. You can also do this in a vise. I've been successful. Sure, if you're a metal finisher by trade, you'd laugh at that, but I'm not a metal finisher by trade. So there. Alright, so for stability, made a double bend there. I'm going to drill the hole so we can get it lined up better. Then we're going to make another bend, double bend over here before we cut the edge off, fold down. So after a couple of bends and a few hits with the hammer, that's what we have. Utilized I don't know how well you can see it, but there's a 1/4 inch nut on the top. I put a wing nut on the bottom just for convenience in case I have to remove it. Good clearance inside there for the case slider, and plenty of clearance here on the ram side, so no problems.